Jom kita baca doa Nabi Musa. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Wahai Tuhanku, lapangkan dadaku, mudahkan bagiku segala urusanku. Lepaskan kekeluhan daripada lidahku, supaya mereka memahami semua perkataanku.
Okay, hi everyone. Okay, so today we will continue with our lesson. So today's lesson is actually we will emphasizing on listening skill. And before we start, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell symbol for more of my videos. Okay, stay tuned. Alright, so we will start with listening skill. Listening skill is very important for everyone, I think, because why? Okay, I'm sure you know all basic 4 skills. However, based on the CEFR and before that, I'm sure everyone already remember what is CEFR. So CEFR is also known as Common European English Framework. Okay, so based on this CEFR, actually, there are 6 skills that you must learn before you finish schools. Okay, in our previous syllabus, normally teachers emphasize only on 4 skills, which is writing, reading, listening, and speaking. However, for CEFR, since you guys are the first batch for the new syllabus, okay, so for CEFR, we teachers and you students, so we have to emphasize and help you guys in boosting up or leveling up your 6 skills. So what are those 6 skills? So the first one is still the same, which is reading skill. The next one is writing skill. Number 3 is speaking skill. Number 4 is listening skill. And number 5 is language awareness. Okay, language awareness, before this, we know language awareness as grammar skill. And the last one is LIA. LIA also known as literature in action. So those are the 6 skills that you must master before you finish school. Okay, next is we will emphasize on listening skill for today. Okay, so what is listening skill? Alright, so listening is the ability to accurately receive and interpret messages in the communication process. So in other words here, it's actually sort of an ability that we have. We are born with this listening skill. However, listening skill is different for everyone. Not everyone possesses the same skill. Some have a very good skill, okay, in listening because they have a lot of exposure towards the language. Okay, I'm sure you know the difference between first language learner and second language learner. For our case, me as the teacher and you as the students, we are the second language learner of English. So of course our listening skill is a bit different from the first language. Okay, so normally we have this kind of skill during a lot of exposure towards the language itself. Okay, for example, okay, we watch a lot of movie in English. or we listen to English songs, or perhaps we play games. Nowadays games is quite famous. We play English games, or we text in English. Okay. However, for listening, okay, it consists of how you receive the information or how you receive the messages, okay, during your communication with others. So listening is key all effective communication. So without a proper listening skill, you cannot have an effective communication. So can you imagine, is A, let us assume two person is having a communication, A and B. So A is speaking to B. So can you imagine if A speak and B do not listen or cannot understand the information? So will it be an effective communication? I think of course not. Okay, so without the ability to listen effectively, messages are easily understood. Okay, so this is what we will practice throughout the year, and with listening skill, okay, you will be able to have a very effective communication, and at the same time, with this ability, if you develop it well, okay, you can, okay, for students of the second language learner, you will know that your listening skill has improved when you watch television, okay, especially English movies without any subtitle. I'm sure at this very moment, most of you, my beloved students, still need to switch on the subtitle, okay, just to understand English movie. Or perhaps when you listen to English songs, you still have to look at the lyrics, only then you can understand, because that is to show that our listening skill is not that well, okay, it's not that adapt to the language. However, we will know that our listening skill has already improved when we do not depend on subtitle anymore, and we do not depend on the lyrics anymore. We can just listen to songs or listen to movie without reading the subtitle or lyrics. Okay, so our next slide is, okay, next is types of listening skill. Alright, so there are mainly 3 types of listening skill, and this is the most common in interpersonal communication. So what is interpersonal communication? Interpersonal communication is you are having communication between one person, okay, with another. Okay, so the 3 interpersonal communication are, the 3 types of listening are, the first one is informational listening. Informational listening, or also known as listening to learn. Like what you are doing at the moment, you are listening to learn to the lesson. Okay, so this is what is known as informational listening. Okay, so you listen to me as you watch the video, and the main purpose is actually to gain information for education, for learning purposes. That is what we call informational listening. Okay, next is critical listening. Okay, this type of listening is also important, especially when you are doing exercises, or when you will have your test later on. Okay, before that, do you know that in your SPM next year, okay, for our new syllabus, you will have 4 different types of examination for your SPM. Before this, there are only 2 papers, am I right? 2 papers for the old syllabus, okay, which is paper 1 and paper 2. But for your case, there will be 4 papers: paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, and paper 4. Paper 1, namely reading test. Paper 2 is writing test. Paper 3 is speaking test. And the last paper, which is the skill that I am teaching you at the moment, which is listening paper. So then at that time is when you will use this second type of listening, which is critical listening. Critical listening, also known as listening to evaluate and analyze. So this type of listening happen when you want to decipher, or when you want to get the information or to understand specific main idea or specific information that you can obtain from the text. Okay, this is when there are a lot of information, there are a lot of words, there are a lot of sentences, and then you listen just to gain the gist. Okay, to gain the gist, to gain the main idea of what the text or the information actually is. And then you evaluate and you analyze what is important. Okay, alright, so that is what we call critical listening. Okay, from time to time, for our every classes, we will learn from one skill to another, and during listening skill, I will help you to practice your listening skill to the extent that you will improve these three types of listening skills. And the third one is what we call therapeutic or empathetic listening. Okay, this one here, normally we practice this. The purpose is to understand feeling and emotion of others. Okay, I give you a very simple situation to help you understand. Let's say you have a friend who is in need, a friend who is sad, a friend who is crying, perhaps because he or she has a lot of problems bottled up inside. Okay, so he or she, that person just now, trying to express his or her feelings towards you, to share his or her problems. Okay, and then you just have to be a good listener, where you listened and try to understand the emotion, try to understand the feelings that that person is trying to tell you. Okay, so with that action of trying to understand the feelings and emotion is what we call therapeutic or empathetic listening. Yes. Okay. Or the next situation is, okay, let's say my beloved students, you have parents or you have teachers in school or at home. Okay, let's say your parents are angry with you. Okay, when your parents are angry with you, what your parents normally do? I wonder. Of course, they will keep on shouting, screaming at you, okay, because they are angry. So, of course, you won't say much. You have to listen to them getting angry at you. So, by listening to that feeling and emotion is what we call therapeutic or empathetic listening. However, the emotion is a bit different. The emotion is angry. Okay, so that are the three types of listening skills. Alright, so we move on to the next slide. Okay, so the next slide is, this is what I want you to do, because just now I have explained a little bit about what is listening skills. Okay, and types of listening skill. So next is, what I want you to do is, please open to page 12 on our new textbook. Okay, so here you will see listening task 1. So what I need you to do is, you will see phrases, and these phrases are numbered from 1 to 10 and A until J. So these are the instruction and what you need to do. So first of all, you need to match the phrases from number 1 to 10. Okay, so what do you have to match with? You have to match, padankan, you have to match the phrases from A until J which have similar meaning. So from the phrases from number 1 to number 10, you have to match this with A until J. Okay, yes. Alright, so as long as it has different meaning, okay, as long as it has different meaning, so please match this. Okay, so you need to write the questions and answers in your exercise book. You can also use online dictionary, to search for the meaning, for the words that you don't understand in the phrases. Alright, Okay. Alright, and if you have things, or if you don't understand what you need to do for listening task 1, please WhatsApp me, or you can use any social media, social apps to contact me. Okay, alright. Next is, we move on to the next task. Okay, so the next task is also on page 12, and this is listening task 2. So these are the instruction. Again, in your textbook, you will see 8 phrases given. So the phrases are about the person that you admire and their qualities. So what you need to do is, please copy all those 8 phrases in your exercise book. Just put a tick or cross. Tick is the symbol of this. Ting, and cross is, this is the symbol of cross. And based on the qualities that you admire. So you have to choose qualities that you think have in the person that you admire. Please put a tick. Okay, so you can also choose all those 8 phrases, or you can choose just a few, meaning that you can choose more than one quality. Alright, so and again, please write the phrases in your exercise book. Alright, so next we move on to page, the same page, page 12. This is for listening task 3. Okay, so for task 3, after this, I will share with you 5 different short recording. Okay, so these 5 short recording, or also known as 5 short extracts, this is in which people are talking about the person they most admire. Okay, so in this type of recording, you will see that these people keep on talking about what they admire. So what you need to do is, please copy this question, okay, and copy these phrases from A until G, and the boxes there from 1 until 5. So in the boxes from number 1 until number 5, what you need to do is, please take the phrases, please choose, please choose the phrases from A until G and try to match, okay, with the number 1 until 5. So 1 stands for speaker 1, 2 stands for speaker 2, 3 stands for speaker 3, 4 stands for speaker 4, and 5 stands for speaker 5. Okay, don't worry, I will play the recording after this. Make sure you listen very carefully. When you listen, you will practice your listening skill, and probably you won't hear the same words on the recording that you read in the list A until G. Sometimes it is not the same word, but the word still has the same meaning. Okay. Next is okay. Alright. Okay. So without wasting any time, okay, please listen to the recording. Alright.
Unit 1. Listening. Exercise 3. Speaker 1.
The person I admire most is my Aunt Linda. She's already busy with a family and a part-time job, but in her spare time she does voluntary work, helping an old man who lives in her street. Twice a week she visits him, does his laundry, makes his dinner, and just has a nice chat with him. He says that he feels much more cheerful and positive about life since she started visiting him. And as well as helping him, it helps her too, as they both really enjoy their time together. I'm thinking about starting voluntary work too, as my Aunt Linda seems to get a lot out of it.
Speaker 2.
I'm not a very confident person, and I'm not very good at making plans. I don't have the courage to invite people to things in case they don't come. But because of this, I often end up bored and frustrated because I haven't arranged anything. My cousin, though, has always been much more confident. She's always planning activities with people, and she gets so much more out of life. Tonight she's going out for the evening. This weekend she's visiting relatives, and next week she's going away on holiday with colleagues. She's always got something going on. I really must try to be more like her.
Speaker 3.
I really admire my uncle because he wasn't afraid to make big changes in his life. He had a well-paid job in a bank, but his colleagues weren't respectful and used to gossip unkindly about him. He wasn't coping well, and in the end, he decided to do the one thing that he'd always wanted to do: give up his job and travel round the world. At the moment, he's travelling through Africa, which he loves. He hasn't made any plans yet for what to do when he gets back next month. He says he's too busy having fun, and he'll worry about that when it happens. What a great guy!
Speaker 4.
My sister works in a busy office where her colleagues sometimes get really stressed, and because of that, they are always arguing or falling out. However, my sister, who's a manager there, understands why they get upset and tries not to criticise them. She makes time to discuss their problems with them and praises the people who work hard. She says it's just part of her job, but I think it's amazing that she can see past their bad behaviour and focus on the good parts of their personalities and what they do well. I'm really proud of her for that.
Speaker 5.
One of my friends had a bad time recently because some of his classmates decided to make trouble for him and accused him of stealing. He hadn't done it, so he had nothing to feel guilty about, but it was a few days until the police proved he was innocent. I really admired the way he dealt with it, though. I would have been miserable and terrified to go out, but he stayed calm and carried on with his normal life because he doesn't believe in worrying. I wish I had his courage.
Okay, everyone. So we will stop our lesson with that today, with what I have explained. So I hope you have learned a lot today, or at least you have learned something valuable for you to use, not just in the classroom, but with your friends, with your families, or with your loved one. Okay, so this is what I want you to do, and don't forget for all my classes. First of all, please make sure above here, please make sure you watch my video, and please don't forget to subscribe and like for more of my videos. Next, number 2, also don't forget to fill in the attendance for every classes. It's really crucial. Crucial means important, by the way. And number 3, okay, don't forget to do the exercises. So I hope everyone will learn a lot and keep on learning English.